Oh my God, now it's the final decision. We have some big news about Bills. My friend, I want you to be prepared because this news just broke and is causing quite a stir. Before all the details, if you're a true Buffalo Bills fan, like now, and I hope you'll also subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any Buffalo Bills updates. In an NFL that treats running backs as complementary pieces, James Cook is proving that there's still room for debate, and the Buffalo Bills urgently need it. Cook's rookie contract is nearing its end, and waiting too long could cost him dearly, not just in terms of money, but also in terms of offensive stability. Cook is no ordinary player. He's a hybrid weapon, a strategic piece that redefines what it means to be a running back in the modern NFL. Last season, he rushed for over 1,100 yards and also racked up over 700 yards as a receiver in 2 years. All this without receiving any artificial touches or relying on forced plays. He simply produces and produces consistently. Cook's unique selling point lies in his characteristics. He can run routes like a legitimate wide receiver, line up out of the backfield, create mismatches, and serve as a safety valve for Josh Allen. With the Bills' offense adopting a more balanced approach after Ken Dorsey's departure and Joe Brady's arrival, Cook's role has grown organically. He's now the key to reducing the workload on Allen without losing explosiveness. And with Diggs' departure, Cook's role as a receiver becomes even more essential. He may not be a formal WR2, but he can easily be the second most targeted player on offense. That's gold in an AFC full of aggressive defenses and elite quarterbacks. And the price of hope? It's only going to increase. Running backs like Saquon Barkley and Ashton Jeanty are reigniting the market for the position. If the Bills let Cook play out his contract, they risk paying significantly more or even losing him in free agency. Worse, a franchise tag would create attributes and deplete the salary cap. A contract, now, somewhere between $12 and $14 million annually, might be the smartest and cheapest choice. Furthermore, upgrading Cook sends a strong message to the locker room. What delivers on the field receives off it. He was a second-round pick in 2022, developing internally and representing everything the draft board wants to build. Leaving him would leave a hole that would be difficult to fill. Neither Ty Johnson nor Ray Davis offer the same similarity. And in the draft or free agency, there's no guarantee of finding a worthy replacement. But keeping James Cook is essential to the current offense. Who will inherit the soul of the defense? And that's where a little-known name emerges, but one that could be Buffalo's next key player. When we talk about the NFL draft, we usually think of the distant future. But in Buffalo, the future is increasingly tied to the present, especially when it comes to the linebacker position. Even with the 2025 season about to begin, General Manager Brandon Beane is already looking ahead to 2026. There's a good reason for this. Matt Milano, one of the Bills' defensive greats of the last decade, could be in his final year with the team. This potential transition creates room for a new name to emerge, and that name could very well be Isaiah Glasker, the BYU linebacker who is already gaining attention as a potential heir to Milano's legacy. Matt Milano arrived as a fifth-round pick in 2017 and quickly became one of the most respected players on the roster. Intelligent, technically sound, and with elite instincts, he has become the heart of Sean McDermott's defense. However, injuries have become a part of his reality since 2023, with 2 serious ones limiting his presence on the field. For 2025, Milano agreed to a contract restructuring based on incentives, which indicates that this could be his last chapter in the blue and red uniform unless he has an all-pro caliber season. And considering the physical demands of the current NFL, this expectation, while possible, also carries risk. Knowing this, the Bills cannot be taken by surprise. Last offseason already revealed the board's willingness to renew the defense. Names like Jordan Poyer and Tremaine Edmonds gave way to a new generation. Now, with the real possibility of Milano's departure, the linebacker position is back in the spotlight, and it is precisely in this context that Isaiah Glasker enters the scene. According to an analysis by Bleacher Report's Damian Parson, Glasker is one of the prospects expected to gain the most attention in the 2025 college season. And it's not just hype. The BYU linebacker impresses with his athleticism, tactical intelligence, and controlled aggression. In 2024, he accumulated 57 total tackles, 42 solos, recovered 1 possession, and also demonstrated skill in zone coverage, a key element in McDermott's defensive system. Glasker isn't just another physical executor. He understands the game, anticipates ball movement, and is rarely caught out of position. His playing style is very reminiscent of Milano himself in his prime. Quick reads, stories to cover tight ends and running backs, and a solid presence against the run game. But Glasker brings something more, a natural explosiveness that allows him to pressure the quarterback or cover large areas areas in seconds. It's precisely this kind of information that the Bills need to maintain as a defensive pillar in the coming years, especially in an AFC where mobile quarterbacks and versatile offenses are the norm. Currently, the Bills rely on Terrell Bernard, who has established himself as one of the best young linebackers in the league, and Dorian Williams, who has shown flashes of talent but still needs to solidify his place. The arrival of a name like Glasgow via the draft could transform this unit into one of the most complete in the NFL. Just imagine, a trio of Bernard, Williams, and Glasgow under McDermott's leadership with the strategic reinforcement of blitzes and hybrid formations. It would be a renaissance for the defense, with a young and aggressive core, but also intelligent and adaptable. But the interest in Glasgow goes beyond the tactical realm. He also represents the front office's vision for the future. The Bills know the Super Bowl window with Josh Allen is wide open now, but they also know that keeping that window open depends on accurate draft picks and internal development. Bringing in Glasgow would send a clear message. We don't just replace leaders, we mold the next ones. Furthermore, in an increasingly tight salary cap situation, the ability to find talented players in the draft becomes essential. With hefty contracts like those of Allen, Dawson Knox, and possibly James Cook coming soon, the Bills need to get their value picks right, and Glasgow can offer veteran production at the cost of heat, something invaluable in terms of roster construction. What lies ahead is still up in the air, but one thing is certain. Brandon Beane's radar has already detected the future, and if Isaiah Glasgow truly develops as expected in 2025, it wouldn't be surprising if he becomes a top priority for Buffalo in the 2026 draft. Meanwhile, workouts continue in full swing in Orchard Park, and fans' eyes are beginning to shift between the present and what's to come. And speaking of a vibrant present, nothing better reflects the Bills' competitive spirit in 2025 than what happened on day 3 of training camp. Hold on tight, because the excitement is just beginning. The third day of the Bills' 2025 training camp was anything but predictable. It began with the growing tension that culminated in the first major brawl of the session. Offensive lineman Alec Anderson and defensive tackle Hayden Harris engaged in a fist fight that forced the coaching staff to eject Anderson from the field. And the message was clear. No one is going to spend the summer just sweating. It's time to fight for the starting spot. The intensity of the roster shows that every roster spot will be fought for to the limit, especially in a season with so much at stake. But it wasn't all hot blood. There was brilliance too. Safety. Taylor Rapp responded to defensive coordinator Bobby Babich with authority, intercepting Josh Allen twice in a single practice. One of them was a pure instinctive play, diving after a miscommunication on offense. Another, facilitated by a strong blitz by Joey Bosa, also showed that Rapp is determined to be a starter in a room full of talent. And speaking of Allen, he's starting to find his rhythm with his new targets. Newcomer Joshua Palmer was a standout, but the one who really excited was Keon Coleman. After a quiet start to camp, the young receiver shone with a long touchdown reception. Allen seems ready to build new connections, and quickly. Chemistry with Coleman could be the key to a rejuvenated offense. Practice is over, but the message was clear. The Bills are famous, focused, and ready to write a new story. And now I want to hear from you, fan. Would you renew with James Cook now, or wait another year? Would Isaiah Glasgow be the ideal replacement for Matt Milano? And who will shine in this offense alongside Allen, Coleman, Palmer, or another surprise? Respond in the comments, like, and subscribe to the channel, because the Bills season promises to be unforgettable. With Wilkins' departure, Isaiah Glasgow's rise as a future cornerstone, and the heated atmosphere at training camp, are the Bills quietly grooming the next generation of leaders to transform this defense into one of the most feared in the NFL? Leave your opinion here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, but I'll be back later to update you with the latest Buffalo Bills news.